Today I'm going to be talking about something different, I think. I my roommate has hypochondria and I've been really stressed out because she's kind of up the ante on her fear symptoms, and now she thinks either she's having a stroke, she had a stroke, or she might have a stroke, and that's way worse than everything else she was telling me. I might have strep throat, or I do have strep throat. Well, the doctor's on to her now. The doctor won't believe her when she tells her she has strep throat, because she used to go like 4 times a year, like every year, and get all these antibiotics. That's not even good for you. And at first, she was really mad at the doctor because the doctor wasn't believing her, and she knew she had strep throat. She's always self-diagnosing herself. She's a first aid instructor. Her ex, who she talks to all the time, who's her best friend, is also a first aid instructor. She has taken some paramedic courses or training or something in the past. So I found an article which is really good, and I'm going to post, and I've kind of changed the wording a little bit because it's 8 signs of hypochondria, and I think my roommate has all 8. So I'm just going to read that to you. She's convinced of ill health. Another thing is she goes to the ER a lot, like a couple of times a week. And also on top of that, various doctors and specialists. Specialists maybe every few months or whatever. And lots of different doctors. She's constantly researching health. And she talks nonstop about health issues. Even when she's at work. She's even lost a job because of it, because they think she's not well enough. Physical scrutiny. She asks me if she's pale or if she's swelling, and I'm just like, I don't know, whatever I say. Like, I try and make it like, my worker told me, when I moved in with her 2.5 years ago, she's a hypochondriac, and I'm like, really, and it's really hard for me, but so I try and like not really engage her in her, because I try not to give her attention about that. And when she used to be like, I know, this is hard to talk about, but sometimes she would be like all like obsessed about suicide and dying, and I can't handle that. So I have a history with that same obsession, and I tell her, you need to talk to your people about it, your mental health team. But anyway, so she really doesn't talk to me a lot about her stuff, just she does sometimes, though. She thinks she has, like, rashes, and she's always getting, like, tests, like cholesterol tests and whatever else. She definitely exaggerates minor symptoms. That's how she gets medication. Because how do you know sometimes, right? My worker always told me that, hypochondriacs actually get really sick too. Like, it's real. They do. They're people, right? So how do you know? You have to treat them like they're human. But anyway. Another thing is, the last one, health paranoia. Like, if the doctor's always saying, like, quite often, like, she's fine, or she has this minor ailment, well, she just doesn't believe them. She's like, oh, there's something underlying. I know there is, and, stuff like that. I've been feeling really good, and now I just feel like I'm gonna cry, because, the last night when she went to the ER, it was like, I don't know. this is just really hard. I don't know a lot of people. I don't know anybody with this except for her. So if you guys know about this or had to live with someone like this, I'm kind of still doing my research on it. And it's just really hard for me. I sometimes feel like, why is she lying to me? Like, and I'm thinking, well, I exaggerate sometimes too. Maybe that's a bad thing too. Maybe, and not that I'm a hypochondriac, but maybe she's just doing what I do, and I don't know. It's just so hard. Like, I try and be truthful, but you know how it is. But so if any of you can like understand this, I have to tell you that my roommate doesn't know she's a hypochondriac. I was watching a video on YouTube and I kind of gave up. It was like the first video I saw. The girl knew she was a hypochondriac. I'm like, well, if you know you're a hypochondriac, doesn't that make it better? I don't know, because my roommate just thinks she's really, really sick, and she's doesn't seem to be really sick. And all she eats, basically, her staple is fast food and 1,500 milliliters of like Coke a day, and she eats horribly. And I would think she's more sick than she is. She's 32 years old, but she doesn't seem to be as sick as she thinks she is. Anyways, thanks for listening, guys. You're the best.